why they'll never play me rapping. Chicago media wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Charlie DeMar, you called me a wannabe. You didn't even go to college in the city. You read from a prompt, I could see your eyes lag. Underneath your eyes are big bags. Let's not pretend you called me a wannabe rapper because I'm Mexican. You don't have to like or drink our Coronas. It wasn't me who beat your ass in Arizona.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping. Mike Flannery, you look like a melon. You should retire with Larry Ellen. You're not fired up, you're putting on a show. When Obama comes, you're in the first row. Read about Operation Chicago. He's the one who gave us Rami Manuel, Anina Padilla. You're so mean and selfish. You take up the whole screen. Nate Rogers, you don't know how to act. You only got your job because you're black. When you meet victims, you don't let them breathe. That's why I prefer Rob Speed. Mika Mater is a black queen. She has a voice who does her own thing. She don't give a damn about dumb ratings. When a kid dies, bitch, she ain't playing.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping. I did it to them all. Tell me who's next. Female reporters are good for press. Robin Ben Garden, I think you should know. Pat wants you on the down low. He wants to put his Toma La Soul in your talented, beautiful hole. I don't blame him. I think you should be dating. Morning sex would be better for ratings.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Chicago media
wants crime to happen. That's why they'll never play me rapping.
Damn. Damn. Yeah, you like that shit. Couldn't have done it better myself. So, you white boys from Lincoln Park and the suburbs called me a wannabe rapper because I'm Mexican and Yugoslavian? That's what you're pretty much saying. Let's come back to that. We'll come back to that. Because there's something more important than that. Racist ass pussy behind a computer shit. Let's come back to that. you guys are probably saying to yourself, well, why did he talk about some of these news reporters like that? Why did he say that about Anina Pendleton? Why did he say that about Charlie DeMar? So let's stick with the Nina. Because you probably think that Charlie DeMar is on the top of my list to exercise my freedom of speech, which is he's not. He's just a pussy from Lincoln Park talking shit behind a computer. I message, and I got the proof. And feel free to ask Anita, whatever. Ask her. Feel free to ask her. Don't ask me. You could ask me. I wrote it. I said it. You could ask me. Why did you say that about her? Oh, I'll tell you why I said that about her. I messaged her over and over and over again on Facebook. Hey, I got this idea to fix Chicago. Hey, Anina, I got this idea to help out our Chicago police who come and protect us when we need it. Hey, Anina, I saw your show in the morning. You seem like you want to help out. I got these ideas. Can we talk about it? What did she do? She ignored me. Okay, so I guess there's like a lot of stuff that we should go through, and I don't really know which one to start off with, but we'll start it with this. 1, the next card that she is probably gonna say, along with a lot of other news anchors and state politicians, at least the state politicians know I have the emails and a lot of other stuff, but the news anchors are all gonna say, I just didn't get the email. I just didn't get the message. So I don't know what Chicago Blaxican's talking about. I get messages over all the time, and I just didn't receive it. Great, I'm used to that lie. I'm used to these bullshit, coward, pussy fucking lies. Been going through it since I was in high school, watching teachers and principals do the same pussy bullshit to me. I'm used to it, and I'm ready. On Facebook, it shows there's a circle with your profile picture that says that person has read the message. When you send an email, if you set it up the right way, you could set it up where when someone opens up that email, it shows this person has received this email. The recipient has seen this email. So if Anina's watching this, if there's some normal people who like Anina Pendleton, whatever her fucking name is, what do you got to say? I sent her, hey, Chicago police, they're being shot at in their vehicles. Let's put bulletproof glass. Can we talk about that? Nothing. Ignored me. No. Okay, that's fine. That's her legal right to ignore me, and this is my legal right to exercise my freedom of speech. So when you normal people keep asking me, oh, well, why did you say that about Anina? That was pretty fucking mean. I don't know if it was mean, maybe, probably. But I was only being mean because she was being meaner to me and the people of Chicago and the Chicago police. A serious psychological point of view, a serious psychology point of view. And I'm going to get off of Nina because it's not just her. She's just a perfect example of what all of this is about and all the media is about. And her kind of fucking, not me, but the Chicago police and her bullshitting. She goes on TV in the morning and they have all of these conversations and they pretend that they give a fuck. They pretend that they care. They pretend they care about the community. They pretend and say, oh, it's so awful that a Chicago police officer was shot. Oh, it's so awful that a 7-year-old girl was shot. But secretly, if you're a program director, which I know a lot of yous are not, but if you are a program director, and I do have a few of them on my YouTube channel, if you're a program director for a radio station, if you're a program director for television, program directors know crime, murders, shootings, killings, Court, they bring in the most ratings than anything else. A program director's job is to program what goes on during the TV. Again, a handful of you, if not the majority of you, are saying to yourself, I never even heard of a program director, which is fine. It's good to educate yourself. I knew what a program director was when I was a teenager because of radio stations, and they're the ones who control the time to songs that play once an hour during 24 hours a day at the station. It's the same thing with TV. Why do you think Law and Order has been, and I believe still is, number one for many years, many decades? Because the people know, the program directors know, Dick Wolf knows, America has a thing for this demon, gangster, killing shit. America and the viewers have a thing for murders, court, the prosecutor, the investigator, the guns. They have a thing for that. Me? I don't have a thing for that. I have a thing to stop it. So when you say, Anina, oh, Eric, that was so wrong to say to her, that was so wrong to say about her, why don't you check the messages if she lets you? Why don't you ask her, why did you ignore Eric when you just went on TV talking about you're looking for help for the Chicago Police Department, you're looking for help to try to stop people from shooting a 7-year-old girl? Eric just gave you the answers. Why didn't you reach out to him? Why didn't you respond to him? Why did you ignore him? See what she'll tell you, because I don't fucking know. Not only do I not want to speak for her, I really don't know. My opinion? I think she's going to say, well, we don't want to fix Chicago. We don't really care about the police. We don't care if they get shot. That's my opinion. You guys may find that hard to believe, but I'll tell you this. Follow the money. Don't listen to me. Don't follow me. You don't want to listen to me? That's fine. I don't want you to. I want you to follow the money. I want you to follow the evidence. You don't realize all these TV, when the news comes on, there's a commercial that people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for. The television stations are getting multi-million dollars. Hey, Officer Ella G. French, when she checked out and made her transition from Earth to heaven, what happened? The ratings were high as fuck for all the local Chicago media. High as fuck. And what you people don't see behind the scenes is these program directors and the sales associates, they're all going back to the sponsors and the companies who are paying them this money and say, hey, this is how many hours and this is how many days and this is how many times someone went to our YouTube channel. This is how many times people watched our live broadcast. How did they watch that live broadcast? Oh, Officer Ella G. French lost her life and we benefited from that. News loves this shit. Sorry. Educated and intelligent people are saying to yourself, damn, Eric sure does have a way of exposing everyone and bringing certain things to light. Yeah, I do. Because I'm just being honest. And yeah, as you could tell, I was frustrated and still am, just a little bit. It's going away, just a little bit. Because I don't know why Adita goes on TV pretending to fucking give a fuck about Chicago and putting on his whole show, but she never took none of these ideas that were solid and concrete from me. And you know another thing that really upsets me more than anything in the world? She has Gary McCarthy on her show over and over and over again. We already know Gary McCarthy was part of covering up a murder. That was proven. We already know Gary McCarthy sucked Rahm Emanuel's cock for over 6 years. That was proven. We already know Gary McCarthy has absolutely no track record at all whatsoever, and the only history he has is a domestic violence report from New York that was covered up. But she keeps having that clown on. But when it comes to solid answers and real solutions to fix the city of Chicago and kids and the Chicago police that she swears up and down she cares about, she ignores it. She ignores a perfectly good idea. And later on down the road, what makes this story even more fucked up? Well, now Anina is having other people on, state of corrupt politicians. Oh, well, we're installing surveillance cameras. Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, wow, and I'm glad you think that's a good fucking idea, considering I sent this to you many fucking years ago about the cameras. Is it really a good idea, or is that just another one of your lies? Demon shit. I know some of you guys are saying that was mean, but what she did was meaner. Let's move off her. Can't stand that fucking. There's a lie. Everything about Anita. I never like Anita. I never like Anita Alvarez. I never like Anita Pendleton. I just move on. Demon shit when I see these people on TV and these news anchors on TV pretending, asking the public for their help. But yet I give it to you for free. And they ignore me for whatever reason. Ask her if you really want to know the truth, because I don't know why she ignored me. I wasn't acting like this before. Ask her if you could see the messages. They were beyond polite. Another thing, since I have a lot of kids watching this and other people watching this, artists and people and entertainers and the average citizen, they believe when they're on the news that their life is going to change. They believe when they're on a segment one time that their life is going to change. And that is beyond simply not true. I was already on the news multiple times, and my life has not dramatically changed the way some people believe it will change. I think some of these news anchors are under the impression, and I'm not stupid, they figured it out now. I think some of these news anchors are under the impression, if you have me on your morning show, pretty much 8 out of 10 times, nothing is going to happen with the exception of a few people will go to my YouTube channel. Big fucking deal. I already have more people on my YouTube channel than most of you have on your YouTube channel. I was already on American Greed, CNBC, bigger than Fox Chicago. And I was on American Greed at least minimum 10 times across the country. And my life hasn't really changed dramatically. I don't get nothing out of going on a show, seeing the camera, seeing the logo of Fox. I'm not like that. I'm not wired that way. I don't want to go on the show for my own personal gain. I'm not running for office. I'm not getting money. I'm spending fucking money. I wanted to go on the show because Fox has somewhat of an audience. And more importantly, besides the little audience that they have, that are a different demographic of audience than mine on YouTube, they have the attention of politicians and public officials. And public officials and politicians sometimes cave in when there's a story on Fox or CBS or NBC or anything else. Sometimes public officials will say, oh, fuck, the local media picked it up. Now we have to do this. Let's fix this so we don't look bad for our voters and our contributors. That's a good thing. I didn't want to go on your show because I'm getting paid for it. I didn't want to go on the show because everyone's going to say, hey, I saw you on TV. I don't care. I've been on TV. I've been on TV. American Greed is the top of the line for someone like me. That doesn't do nothing for me. Just so you know, when you go on a show and you're promoting a book or you're promoting Operation Chicago or you're promoting Fixing Chicago, you have to do it hard. You have to hit Howard Stern. You have to hit LA. You have to hit Texas. You have to hit New York. You have to hit Chicago. You got to hit everything all at one time. Going on a show one time isn't going to do nothing. Getting 1 million views on one YouTube video, believe it or not, is not going to do nothing. It looks good. It looks good that you have 1 million views on YouTube. But at the end, it doesn't do anything. You have to go quadruple platinum. But I don't care. I'm not here to teach about that. Let's move on. The local media in Chicago don't want to support Operation Chicago. The local media, well, not all of them. I take that back. Allow me to take that back. The majority of some local media don't want to support Operation Chicago. The majority of some local media are afraid of me, Chicago Blaxican, for whatever reason. And you don't need to be, but they don't want to stay with it. They hear prison, they hear felony, they hear prison, they're just like, this guy is whatever. Okay, let's just say that's true. Let's just say hypothetically that's true. One, if I convince the local media, let's just say I reason with you, because I'm going to bring up a lot of names, I'm going to bring up a lot of facts, and I would like you to respond. Let's just say hypothetically, I was able to convince you, all the local media, I was able to convince everyone that the first time, not the second time, really, the first time when I was in prison, that not only did I not do it, but it came from Madigan's office. It came from the Attorney General's office, and I could prove this shit with 100% concrete. Let's just say you look at me and you say, okay, I saw the evidence, Eric. I looked past the color of your skin. I looked past your personality. I looked past your name, Chicago Blaxican. I looked past your rap lyrics, and I saw the evidence. That is very fucked up that the Attorney General's office in Madigan has done that to you. I have never seen anything like that in my career of covering media. Okay, great. You saw the evidence, you saw the transcripts, you saw the bond, you saw it all. Okay, great. Now what? What? I'm being serious. Now what? So you saw it. What's the next step? What happens next? What's the next domino that falls? There is no next domino that falls. It doesn't matter if you believe me or not. It doesn't matter if you say that was fucked up what the Attorney General's office in Chicago did to you or not. It doesn't say, well, we already know Madigan and we know their history. And it doesn't matter if you say you're sorry or not. That does absolutely nothing for me. Your approval does nothing for me. So let's move on and get past that. Facts, not opinions. Facts. The majority of the people in the world are stupid. There are a handful of smart people, there's a handful of intelligent people, but the majority of the people in the world are stupid. I live by that saying, if you could trick them, you can beat them. Facts. The majority of the people will never understand the media and how some media is full of shit and lies and legally gets away with it until they're in that actual position. Not all media. I know some great news anchors, and I'm going to get to them. I know everyone's sticking around for this one. Who's he going to talk about this? Don't worry. I'm putting it in my movie. Don't worry about it. It's legal too, by the way. I'm putting the good news anchors and the bad news anchors in my film, and we'll let the people decide. Unless you were a person that the media reported on or wrote about, most of the people will never understand how fucked up. Not only do they get shit wrong, not only do they clearly lie, but it's kind of perfectly legal with the exception of defamation of character, and good luck doing that one. It's fucked up. And I'll prove it. I'll prove it right fucking now, and I have the evidence. Some of the local media said that I went to prison for 10 years. I didn't go to prison for 10 years. Some of the local media said I was sentenced to prison for 10 years. I wasn't sentenced to prison for 10 years. I think I would remember that. Another local media said he was in prison for 8 years. I wasn't in prison for 8 years. Another local media says I was sentenced to prison for 8 years. I wasn't sentenced to prison for 8 years. So can you imagine my face? Not that I care. If anything, you gave me street credibility, so I don't even care. But can you imagine my face when I read that? And I said to myself, wait a second. I went through this. I lived this. I was in the courtroom. I was in prison for this amount of time. Almost everyone in prison knows how long they have to fucking go and how long do they have left because they agreed to it to get the fuck out of there. Can you imagine my face when I read that? I was in prison for 10 years. I got sentenced to prison for 10 years. 8 years. I was sentenced. I took a plea deal under duress and I was sentenced to prison for 6 years. So I ask myself, I ask my fellow Americans, I ask anyone who's watching this, I ask anyone who is stupid. I try to educate you just a little bit. Do you find that just a little disturbing that you're the average Joe Smo? You spend $4 on the Chicago Tribune newspaper, you watch the news, and it says that this person was in prison for 10 years, and then you're over here thinking, oh, wow, that was a long time. Oh, this guy must be a hardcore criminal. Do you not feel stupid? Do you not feel tricked? Do you not feel like you're lied to? Do you not feel that you were misled? Do you not think to yourself, wait a second, is this legal? Do you not question it? Do you not give a fuck? Because I think most of you do give a fuck. I think most of you are saying, if this is true, and they said that this guy was in prison for 10 years and he wasn't. He was only there for 6 and cut that in half. But let's just forget the half. You sentence? What other stuff are you lying about? Does anyone want to answer that? Let me check my phone. Go ahead. Let that settle in. Do you not give a fuck? They get away with that. It's legal to accuse me of being in prison for 10 fucking years and 8 fucking years and got sentenced for 8 years and 10 years when none of the above happened. It's perfectly legal unless I want to file a defamation of character lawsuit. And what good would that do? Money? I already got money. You can't fix stupid. These stupid people are going to continue believing it. But it gets worse than that. That's just one. There's many more. The newspaper, Chicago Tribune, reported, oh, and they see Chicago Blaxican's yellow Hummer. Yellow Hummer? The Hummer was fucking black. It was a black Hummer. Does it look like anything is yellow on me? How do you fuck that something so simple up? And I'm sitting and I'm reading the newspaper. I'm reading the Chicago Tribune from that racist motherfucker Kim Jensen, who doesn't even work here in Chicago anymore. Who's not even from this fucking country, by the way. He says that I'm a wannabe rapper. He's a wannabe United States news journalist editor. Because he's not even from this country. And then you guys say this behind the computer is what bothers me. You guys act real different behind this computer is what bothers me. All these kids, they're killing themselves, they're committing suicide, they're being bullied behind a computer. You weren't doing this shit to me in high school. You weren't doing this shit to me in county. You weren't doing this shit to me on the streets. You do it behind a computer. And then when you fucking suburban ass motherfuckers see me, you go look the other way. You put your head down. You don't do this shit in my face. You act different behind the computer. That's what really troubles me. It bothers the pissing shit out of me. I almost need to see a doctor to talk about this new generation of acting out behind a computer. It troubles Howard Stern more than anything. It fucks up Ice-T more than anything. He's still on Twitter fighting with everyone. You people I just ignored because I know the next domino, nothing is going to happen, and you're just trying to act tough right now behind this fucking computer. Especially with me. You know you wouldn't. All you suburban people, no, you would never call me a racist name and wannabe name. You know you wouldn't do that to me, man. But nevertheless, then the newspaper says that I'm 22 years old. And I'm 26 years old and I'm reading this. Chicago Blaxican, who's 22 years old. How do you fuck up my age? I mean, am I wrong? Is that not simple stuff? Can you imagine me when I'm reading the newspaper? I'm 26 years old and you're saying 22? How did you mess that up? Do you not take your time? Can you just find out some facts? Can you at least be off by 1 year? You guys know I'm right too. The majority of you people know I'm right. You news anchors watching us, your friends and your family watching us, they're just saying, oh, well, they can't get everything right. Oh, well, I like them. They bring me home. You guys are like state politicians. You guys are like state politicians. The only people who like you are the ones that you give money to, such as your friends and your family, and such as dumb people who think they see you on TV like, oh, wow, you're cool. You're not fucking cool. You're not fucking cool. You know who's cool? Let's get on some good topics, because I can go on and on and on about the Chicago Tribune and how they just fuck some shit up. They said Superintendent David Brown went to my house in Oak Lawn. He didn't go to Oak Lawn. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Just erase that last comment. Don't worry about it. I'm going to let you be dumb. I can't fix you. You know who's cool? Mika Matier from WGN. You know who's cool? Rob Sneed. You know why? You know the difference? And so many of you guys are saying, well, Mika Matier, she may never deal with you because you're Chicago Blaxican and she doesn't want you. I mean, a couple people told me that, which is fine. I understand. I totally understand. I guess if I was in her position, I may not want to deal with me either, or be seen with me in public either. So you're not trolling me and you're not sending me off. If she wants to reach out to me to talk, that'd be great. But if she doesn't, it's okay. Because Mika Matier is doing her own thing without me. Mika Matier really gives a fuck when a kid gets shot. And you could see the body language. If you're not a good at body language reader, hire someone. You could see it in her eyes. You could see it in her face every single fucking time. It never gets old to her. She never gets used to this new way of living, of kids just getting shot. You could see the anger. You could see she asked questions afterwards. These other news anchors, most of them, they just read shit. They read shit from a prompt. Look at Charlie DeMar. He does it every fucking time with this fucking no face having pussy face ass. Just like this. Just like this. You can see his eyes move. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a reader. He's a prompt reader. Pussy from Lincoln Park. Prompt reader. Racist ass motherfucker too for calling me that. Through a computer. Mika Matier, afterwards, how do we fix this? Who's responsible for this? We're going to do a follow-up on this. She's fucking pissed. She ain't fucking around. She ain't fucking around. Seriously, she ain't fucking around. You got that other dude from Fox. Not even going to say his name. You know, you heard the rap song. I have a friend who was in Oak Brook Mall. She was in the mall when that fucked up shooting happened. She said, after she got out of the mall, it was a panic. Everyone was rushing. Everyone was scared of her family. News anchor from Fox 32 went up to her. Hey, how do you feel? How does that make you feel? And she just looked at him and told him to get the hell away from me. I know what you're doing. What do you mean, how does that make you feel? Yeah, Nate Rogers, let's talk about it. Because I sent you a message too on how to fix Chicago. But forget my message. Let's talk about it, Nate Rogers. If you want to, it's up to you. I'm just exercising my freedom of speech. You want to participate? Great. You don't? Go on another YouTube channel. Every single time Nate Rogers interviews someone, he's trolling them. He's enjoying the ratings. He don't give a fuck. But when Rob Sneed interviews someone, when Rob Sneed is on the street, he gives a fuck. He wants to help out. You could just tell. My friend who was in Oak Brook Mall, and she was in the mall and she was getting shot at, or there was a shooting, chaos everywhere, people are trying to find their loved ones, the police are stressed, it's a horrible situation, and here comes the Fox 32 Chicago van. Hey, how does that make you feel? What do you mean, how does that make you feel? I almost got fucking shot at. I'm fucking trapped in the mall hiding behind a store, Nate. Is that what you want for your fucking ratings? You know how you got your job, by the way, just for the record. I said it too. Yeah, I sent you a message and I said, I put everyone to the test. I got them all. I got them all. I put everyone to the test and I emailed and I messaged everyone. Here's some ideas to fix Chicago right here. Boom. They ignored me. Some told me no. It's all right. We're going to put it in my movie and it's legal. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Have fun with your ratings, taking advantage of people in a fucked up situation. Robin Bin Garden. She's a queen. Number one. WGN. Or all her people, they all emailed me back. Each and every last single one of them. I ain't even going to mention their names. They all tried. They all said this is good stuff. They all said, I'm not going to mention their names, but some of them, they pretty much just said, we like you, you're funny, good luck, but we can't deal with it. That's fine. Give me that. They got that, and I understand their position. Because fucking the Attorney General's office in Madigan fucked up my name, and some people are just like that, and it is what it is. But let's go on. It gets worse. Let's just do one more. Then we'll get into that racist comment, because I'm not going to be here all fucking day doing this shit. Because I'm moving to the suburbs. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this demon shit. I wish I was born in Florida or Texas or Hawaii. I don't know why God put me down here in Chicago. This is some type of hell. You have... Oh, fuck. What's that girl's name? Oh, man. Ice cream brain freeze. Hold on. It's going to come to me. It's going to come to me. Melissa Parr. CBS. 1. Let's be positive before we be negative. Brad Edwards is probably the number one man in Chicago who has the biggest heart. Now, what does he think of me? I don't know. It's probably, I don't want to put words in his mouth. Doesn't matter. Even if he doesn't like me for my style or whatever reason, that still doesn't change who he is. He gives a fuck. He cares. He does all kinds of unique stuff. You could see him in the school. The kids love him. Brad Edwards is the number one man in Chicago to report on news to make a difference. CBS 2 News, they do it to you. They give a fuck. And when shit's on CBS 2 News, City Hall moves for most of the time. And City Hall hates CBS 2 News. They must hate Brad Edwards more than they hate me. Let's keep that in mind as we go on. That Brad Edwards is the number one man in Chicago who gives a fuck about wanting to stop corruption, wanting to help people out. He has helped so many fucking poor people out. So many poor people have went on TV and said, if it wasn't for you, I see him, I love him. He's a genius. Now move on. Melissa Parr. I'm going to be nice. She's a woman, and I have a thing for women. I sympathize with women. I love women. My mom was single, raising me. I love women. I rarely ever mistreat women. Never do that. It's not my thing. It's not what I do. You don't get no points for fucking with a woman. That's just who I am. That's how I'm wired. I see Marissa Parr on TV. Okay, this was like a couple years ago, give or take. Year and a half ago, approximately. Oh, I got the text messages. I got the email. So does she, I'm assuming. But it's cool. She's on TV. She's on CBS. She says she's trying to look for answers to fix Chicago. She's looking for answers in so many words. If anyone from the public has any suggestions, we at CBS 2 would like to hear about it, and we would like to take, all right, cool. So she has her phone number. That's legal. It's on her page. It's legal. I call her. Say, hey, hi, Mrs. Parr. My name is Eric. I'm a citizen from Chicago. How are you doing today? Good. Like I said, I saw you on TV, and I know you stated you were looking for some answers, and I believe I have some 100% solutions to fix Chicago. I was wondering if we could set up a Zoom meeting to discuss this. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for watching me, too. This means a lot. Thank you for this phone call. That's what she said to me. Super duper nice. Let me give you my email address. I'll text it to you. And text me the info, and we'll go from there. And thank you again. I really appreciate this phone call. Thank you for seeing me on TV. Yeah, no problem. I think she just got here. No problem. She texts me. Then she says, "Thanks, Derek." So I'm not Derek, but it's cool. No big deal. I'm like, all right. I tell her I'm not Derek, even though I would like to be, because it's a lot better than Eric from what Madigan and the Attorney General's office did to me. But okay, I gotta live with that. More importantly, you people, you gotta believe that. She goes, "Oh, LOL, sorry, long day. Here's my email." All right, great. I give her the list to fix Chicago. Practically a whole entire fucking book. She doesn't respond back. Why? Well, she doesn't respond back because it came from Chicago Blaxican. Well, she doesn't respond back because she goes to Google and she's like, "Oh, the Attorney General's office. Oh, Madigan. Oh, prison. Oh, well, I'm not going to have a brain for myself. I'm not going to look into this to see if this guy was really, truly a victim. I'm not going to look into all the evidence that's perfectly clear that he laid out. I'm not going to look into his answers and solutions to fix Chicago or the Chicago Police Department. I'm just going to ignore him." Wow. So that is 100% definitely not racist. That is just definitely 100% pure fucking ignorant. That is definitely just 100% not good for a news reporter. That is definitely just 100% not good for mankind. We're not here to focus on my name, Blaxican. We're not here to focus on my record. We're not here to focus on me. We're here because you stated on television that you were looking for some answers to fix Chicago. You were looking for some solutions from the public, and if anyone from the public has any good ideas, please reach out to me, because I would like to know. That's what we're here for. But she ignored me. She ignored me. You're super duper nice to me when I'm Derek, but I get treated like dog shit and like ignored when I'm Eric. And exactly what is wrong with Eric, by the fucking way? You know how many people love me? You know how many women fucking love me? You know how many girls I had in my fucking life? You serious? You're single, right? Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Probably a reason for that, just for the record. And we could have been really good fucking friends. I could have found you a guy. Not like me, of course, because I'm taken, but I could have found you someone. We could have all had a beautiful relationship, because I get a lot of compliments saying Operation Chicago. That's a cool name. I'm shocked that I even own that name. I'm shocked that I even own the trademarks for that name. Because I know all kinds of people, all kinds of news anchors, all kinds of government officials, they come up with their Operation this, Operation that. It never fucking works anyway, by the way. And they're like, damn, let's use Operation Chicago. Then they go to Google and they see, oh, we can't use Operation Chicago. This guy has it. Oh, fuck, that sucks. Operation Chicago is designed for everyone in Chicago. Doesn't matter who you are. Black, white, cop, Italian, Illinois State Trooper, Cook County Jail bailiff, poor people, Section 8, Inglewood, Little Village, news reporters. Operation Chicago's for everybody. But a handful of you people mistreat me because you're ignorant, and some of you guys are some racist motherfuckers. And let's get back to that. Let's end this on a fucked up note. You pretty much call me, and I'm not going to say white boys, because I have a lot of white friends, and I would be an ignorant motherfucker to say white boys on this video and then go hang out with them. I'm not going to stoop down to your level. I'm going to say suburban fucks behind a computer who's a pussy. You go ahead and you write an article and you do these videos about me, which is fine. It's legal. You go ahead and you call me a wannabe rapper because I'm Yugoslavian and Mexican. So pretty much what you're saying is Mexicans and Yugoslavians, we can't rap. If you're Mexican, you can't rap. That's pretty much what you're saying. Now, you're not going to be a man. None of you suburban people from Lincoln Park and pussies behind a computer, none of you are going to man up. And you're not going to say that out loud. You're not going to say, no, that's not true, because you would look like a bigot, racist motherfucker more than what you look now. You would get fired from your job. You would be on Google as a bigot, racist motherfucker than anything. So you're not going to man up and say that. Let me ask you something. If that's not true, why did you call me a wannabe rapper? Take your time. You're not going to answer that right now. Take all the time in the world, because I guarantee you, you have never heard any of my music. I guarantee you, you don't know where I'm from. I guarantee you, you don't even know what school I went to. Your simple psychology is like the average investigator for the state government. You're going to go to Google. You're going to go to your records. You're going to see if I have a criminal background. You're going to try to track down a diploma. Your psychology is simple. And I already knew your psychology in school. But be honest, God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit looking at you now. Be honest. We all know that you're watching this video. We all know afterwards you're going to do a Google search and go on YouTube and listen to my music. But before that, did you ever hear my music? Not saying I have to answer to you, but we're on this topic, so maybe I do have to answer to you. Maybe I do have to respond to you at the very fucking least. I don't need your approval. Why am I talking about rap music to some suburban people from Lincoln fucking Park behind a fucking computer? Like, seriously, I'm talking about rap music to your kind? Well, hold on. Did you ever listen to my music before you go ahead and called me a wannabe rapper? The answer is no. And I know you didn't, because you don't have the time to do it. So why'd you do it? Why'd you say it? Oh, well, I didn't really say it. Someone typed it, and I just read what they typed from the prompt. Okay, so you didn't bother to say to yourself, wait a second, before I say this, why are you calling this guy this name? I mean, you didn't bother to question that? It's like someone gives me a prompt and it says, hey, wannabe racist Elon Musk. I'm going to stop and say to myself, what, Elon Musk racist? I'm not saying that. Is there proof of that? I'm not saying that. Are you stupid? So I think what really happened is we have some dumb suburban white motherfucker. Well, I'm not going to say that. We have some dumb suburban kid who types things out. And he just thinks it's cool. Oh, let's just put wannabe. And then the pussy's name is not nowhere near the article. The pussy is just someone who has like 17 stepdaddies and he's tired of getting touched and molested by them. His mom's a fucking whore. He's just some pussy-ass suburban motherfucker behind a pussy-ass computer. Oh, I just put wannabe. I don't know anything about him. And I know I would never say anything to this like this to his face, but I'll put wannabe. Pussy ass motherfucker. Racist ass motherfucker. You never heard any of my music. You don't know a thing about rap music, motherfucker. You don't even know a thing about me. You don't even know where I'm from. Should I use some time and explain this shit? Because I don't even think I ever done this before. I don't want to talk about where I'm from. I don't want to talk about what school I went to. Because it's all fucked up. I didn't want to be there when I was there. You want to talk about rap? Are you kidding me? You're like the state government. I'm trying to talk about fixing Chicago and you want to talk about rap music with me? Are you shitting me? Let me guess. You think Jay-Z's a rapper? You know Tupac was around, Jay-Z wouldn't be? Do you know I was listening to Jay-Z before he was Jay-Z and I already knew he was a phony-ass motherfucker? Do you know that I was listening to Jay-Z back in the early 90s when he was selling rap music out of his trunk and I knew that this motherfucker was phony as fuck and so did a lot of other motherfuckers? And I don't call out Jay-Z because we're not on the same level. You guys are probably saying to yourself, damn, this guy is really fucking crazy if he's talking about Jay-Z. Jay-Z's the best rapper in the history of the United States. That's what I'm talking about, you Lincoln Park suburban motherfucker. The real rappers are watching this. And they're like, damn, Chicago Blaxican's funny as fuck. He's right. Jay-Z is not a gangster. Jay-Z is not a real rapper. Jay-Z would not be here if Tupac wouldn't be. Jay-Z was in the projects and he got chased out because he didn't belong there. Jay-Z did not push drugs and sell drugs the way he's making it out to be. Jay-Z is pretending to be this community activist with the fros and the braids, but he wasn't doing that shit back in the 90s. He had a fade. You went from a fade, a high top fade, to now supporting braids. Stop that, man. Jay-Z and his record company back then was designed to trick you white suburban people from Lincoln Park, and it worked. You don't know Jay-Z from 1991. You don't know Jay-Z from 1992. You're not from the streets. The streets recognizes the streets. Real rappers and real gangsters know who's a real rapper and who's a real gangster. We know who's faking it. We know who's lying. The record company ain't gonna support these days a real fucking gangster. They're gonna find a fuck like Jay-Z. No prison time, no arrest, no street credibility. No one in the projects could say he lived there with the exception of the ones who ran him out. But I can't convince you of this. Right now, you suburban people from Lincoln Park and you media are like, oh, wow, no, this is not true. No, it's fucking true. You just don't want to say it's not true because Jay-Z and his people pay your station affiliation for radio play. And how the fuck do you think a song gets on the radio any fucking way, you suburban Lincoln Park motherfucker? You think the song gets on the radio because it's fucking good? No, the song gets on the radio because it's paid to play. You pay the radio station a certain way. This is very important and very critical. It has to be done a certain way. The radio stations are going to go ahead and say, oh, well, it depends on how many views this person in the single got on YouTube. But the record company and the A&R rep knows the program directors and they already have the deal made. A song on the radio does not get played because it's fucking good. A song on the radio gets played once an hour, once every other hour, or every package that they weaseled their way in for pay to play, and that's how it fucking works. So of course you're not going to talk about Jay-Z, but let's forget Jay-Z. You think he's the god. That's fine. That's why you're a suburban motherfucker from Lincoln Park. Let's talk about Ice-T. Let's talk about Ice Cube. Let's talk about Chuck D. Let's talk about Public Enemy. Let's talk about Scarface. And no, I ain't talking about the movie, you stupid ass suburban Lincoln Park motherfuckers. Let's talk about Crucial Conflict. Let's talk about Crucial Conflict. Let's talk about Psychodrama. Let's talk about 3-6 Mafia. Let's talk about real fucking rappers from real streets. Let's talk about D.A. Smart. Let's talk about Mr. Woboy. Let's talk about all kinds of real shit. Well, no, we can't talk about that. Why? Because they didn't pay us. It's not part of the package. And even if they did pay us, it's too extreme. They're too real. We need someone who's pretending to be a little hard. Okay, that's fine. Don't call me a wannabe. You should be calling Jay-Z a wannabe, but you're just not doing that because he's black. And he ain't even really black, by the fucking way, just for the record. I knew a lot of people. I saw a lot of people in prison. They knew. Look at this motherfucker with this Rockefeller shit, lying to these motherfuckers. Knock that shit off, man. Look at a lot of people in prison. They didn't like Lil Wayne. They didn't like Lil Wayne, but you guys will say Lil Wayne's this, Lil Wayne's that. The real people in prison, they didn't like Lil Wayne. He ain't a gangster. You don't believe me? Go to YouTube. That's him. He's such a gangster, but he's going in California and he got stopped. They wouldn't let him go. I don't get stopped. I go everywhere. And that's another thing. Let's stick on me just for a minute. One, let's talk about rap. You call me a wannabe behind a computer, you suburban racist ass mother Lincoln fucking Park fuck. One, rappers. They need street cred. They have street cred. A lot of them do. Ice-T, he has a lot of street cred. Ice Cube, a lot of street cred. Chicago Blaxican. Let's talk about me. I'm not saying this is true, but that's what they say. They say I stole $2 million. You know how everyone worshipped me in prison? You know how everyone worshipped me in the county? You know how all the guards even said, how did you do that? I'm not saying it's true. But everyone, everywhere I went, Statesville, all the prisons I've been to, Danville, Vienna, all of them, County, Cook County, they all worshipped me. They all looked up to me. Because I wasn't some stupid-ass, corny fucking drug dealer killing my own people. Because I wasn't this stupid, dumbass rapper with a fucking gun shooting at innocent people being a demon. Everyone likes money, and everyone, all the gangs, all the everyone, they're just like, damn, 2 million. All right, who's this guy? All right, money. Yeah, it's interesting when you guys stop fighting over a stupid race and you start fighting over the real color, which is green. At least that was my mentality back then. Ain't no rapper has street credibility like I do. I've been locked up for 3 years. Get it right. 2 years and 8 months. And another 4 months. 3 years. Get it right. What rappers have those credibilities? I worked with Ice-T. You guys are going to go ahead and say some other shit, but that's not true. But go ahead and write it. If people are going to believe it, they're stupid. I spoke to Ice Cube. It don't get no bigger than Ice-T and Ice Cube. Ice-T created gangster rap. So did Ice Cube, pretty much. I talked to them. You don't even know what school I went to, do you? Do you even know where I'm really from? You guys keep saying, oh, Homer Glen, Orland Park. This is what I'm talking about being stupid. You think someone like me could afford a fucking house in Orland Park, you fuck? You think my mom, who was single, could afford a house in Orland Park, you stupid, dumb, suburban Lincoln Park motherfuckers hiding behind a computer? You think she could afford a house in Orland Park? I'm not from Orland Park, you dumb fuck. I came from Bridgeport, 2834 South Union. I moved out of Bridgeport when I was in 7th grade because my mom didn't like it there. But when I was in Bridgeport, I went to Healy Grammar School. My principal was too tunny. I got in trouble because I didn't believe those people at Healy. I didn't want to listen to the teachers. I didn't want to listen to propaganda. What did Healy do? They kicked me out. And out of Healy School, which was in Bridgeport, they sent me to Abbott. Abbott was a grammar school directly across the street from the Robert Taylor homes, which is the second biggest projects in the history of Chicago. Second biggest projects. I'm a little fuck going to Abbott. Tons of fucking gangsters every fucking Monday. The teacher would go ahead and report. Class, before class begins, I want to make an announcement and say, this girl passed away over the weekend. Let's send our thoughts and prayers. And I'm just sitting there thinking, wow, this is pretty fucked up. What? Fucking learn how to play basketball from the best. Got my name Blaxican from the best. Across the street from the Robert Taylor homes is where my dumb ass went because I didn't want to listen to some dumb propaganda teacher from fucking Healy and Bridgeport. I'm like one of the only Mexican people in Abbott Grammar School. How I survived beats the fucking dog shit out of me. Maybe they felt sorry for me. I learned how to rap at a very fucking early age. I learned how to play basketball at a very fucking early age. I've been advocating and saw so much shit that black people have went through since I was born. And then your suburban dumb fucking ass is gonna say I'm from Orland Park? You're gonna go ahead and call me a wannabe because I'm Mexican? You fuck? Behind a computer, too! Could have fucking died. Every day it was a struggle living through that shit, going through that shit. And you're gonna take, I don't even want you to give it to me because I already got it, but you're gonna take all that away and lie and say, I'm from fucking Orland, you stupid fucking Peckerwood ass motherfucker? Behind a computer, too? And it gets worse than that. My history gets worse than that. I don't even want to talk about it because you wouldn't believe me. You would understand. The high school that I went to was Hillside. And of course your dumb suburban fucking ass from Lincoln Park, pussy motherfucker, behind a computer. You're going to go ahead and Google it. Oh, this is a town, this is a school in Hillside. Hillside is a suburb. Stupid ass motherfucker. It's not even up anymore. You want to be a reporter? Report on that. Stupid ass suburban motherfucker from Lincoln Park. Hillside was a school designed in the 80s and in the 90s. The man from Chicago in the public education said, you know what? All these bad kids in the inner city, they're all going to go and report to one building. So for an example, you're a pussy, I know you never got a detention because you guys are pussies from Lincoln Park. You go to your school, you get in trouble, you get a detention. If you fuck up that detention, which you don't, but if you fuck up that detention, they say, okay, you're going to Hillside. What's Hillside? Hillside is a building that is in Hillside, the suburb. And there's a church right next to it. But it wasn't suburban people. All the students were from Cabrini Green, Mercy Boys Home, on Jackson, Robert Taylor Homes, Dearborn's, Ickes, worst of the worst, 18th Street, everything. And that was in the 80s and the 90s. All of them got shipped with vans, and it took about an hour to get there for most of the part, even for me. And they put us all in there. That was definitely Jesus Christ looking at me now. The worst school in the history of the state of Illinois. They have all these people on YouTube talking about what's the worst schools. That school's not even up. It was so bad, they took it down. There is absolutely no history of what went on in that school. But to make a very long story short, you suburban fucks from Lincoln Park who talk this shit through a fucking goddamn computer. What makes it even worse is that school every single day, at least every 3 hours, every 2 hours, don't want to exaggerate, the teachers would pick the students up, and it was a grab. It was fun for them. It was fun for us to watch for a little while. They would grab you by your shirt here, grab you by your pants here, and the goal was to lift you up over your head. Wrestling was cool back then. Hulk Hogan was cool back then. You know how your pussy iPhone is cool? Wrestling was cool back then. They made sure they got you over your head, and they slammed the shit out of you on that ground, that marble ground, whatever it is. Boom, lights out. Boom, blackout. Boom. Did that ever happen to me? Never, not one time, because I never let it get to that extreme and I was cool with all the other teachers because I was doing some other street shit. Never. But I saw it. I saw it multiple times. I heard it. So I grew up on that. I'm young. I'm a freshman. I'm a sophomore. I'm a junior. I'm a senior. I'm another senior because I stood in that school for other fucking reasons. I'm doing all that shit. I'm living it. I see this shit. I'm like, damn, this is pretty fucked up. But now as I grow older and I'm looking at the new generation, you pussy motherfuckers, you don't know what a fight is. You pussy motherfuckers, you don't know what a slam is. You have absolutely no idea what the sound of some kid's head hitting the floor. You don't understand that sound. You never heard that sound before. So when you guys start talking about this whole street cred shit, I don't ever talk about my background because I don't want to go back to those days. Those days were fucked up. I don't even know how the state government allowed that school to be open. The school is shut down partially because of me, which we won't even talk about. There's all this shit that you don't know, but you guys keep calling and writing about this shit. And you call me that fucking racist. I don't want to live back in those days. You guys couldn't handle it. Just picture that. Let's just stay on it one more time. You got this big ass guy grabbing you by your shirt from your pants, picking you up over his head. It's not just that half-ass shit. They would brag. It was a sport. Get the kid over the head. Get the student over the head. Boom! And now I grow up and I see pussies like you talking shit behind a computer, and I'm just like, wow, you just don't know. I grow up and I see a racist ass motherfucking comments from pussies like you. You just don't know. You have no idea. You have no idea what gangbanging is. You have no fucking idea. You know what bothers me even more? Then I gotta go. You know what troubles me even more? Not only is that school not up anymore, not only is there's no history of what really went on in that school, you people at Lincoln Park, you suburban motherfuckers, they'd bust you motherfuckers in too. So when you fucked up, you got a sentence at Hillside. How long you here for? A week, 3 days, 6 days. Me, I got life because I came from Abbott and another school from the suburbs in that particular time. Me, I got life there, and I was fine with it because I was doing some other shit. I learned a lot. There was a lot of stuff going on in that school. Wasn't no police either. I see these suburban kids. The whole goal was for those suburban kids to get beat up by minorities. The whole goal. Think about it. Why on earth would you get fucked up in your high school, Lincoln Park, and then afterwards they say, okay, you're going to Hillside for 2 days? What's the point of going to Hillside for 2 days only? It's to get your ass beat by blacks and Mexicans to teach you a lesson. And then after we allegedly beat your ass, according to them, not me, according to them, after you allegedly get your ass beat by us, Then you go back to your school and say, oh, okay, I'm going to be good now. But you know what's fucked up? You know what makes this really bad? Is every single time you suburban kids walked in, I always saw you. And I always protected you. I always said to myself, no, this is all wrong. Because I hated the fucking man and I hated the fucking system more than any fucking thing. And I didn't even hate white suburban people. I didn't hate nobody besides the fucking system and pussy coward motherfucking principals and politicians who just lie straight to my face, do it the coward way. I hated the system more than anything. I knew every time they sent some white suburban kid in, he was only here for a couple days for that purpose. And I'm like, no, this is just wrong. I intervened and helped you fuckers out so many times. I did. I swear to God, I did. God knows I did. That was real cool. And here you suburban fucking people are talking shit about me, calling me that racist shit. You don't even know about my history? You gotta be fucking shitting me, man. You want to hear one more fucked up story? Here, this will settle with you. You want to talk about gangster shit? You want to talk about violent shit? Here, I'm in school one day. There's this one Latin king. Real Latin fucking king. His name was Alex. Some white dude named Adam. I don't know what happened to them. Adam said something. Adam did something. Rubbed him off the wrong way. You know what Alex did? He picked up the desk. You know how a desk has 4 legs? He took the desk and he rammed the shit out of it in that white suburban kid Adam's eye. And that went boom! Wow. I'm like a sophomore, give or take. And I see that. Okay, that's fucked up. That's violent. You want me to talk about this? You want me to brag about this? I'm like a little kid and I'm having to witness this shit in school. What kind of life is this? And you want to talk about my street cred? You want to call me a fucking wannabe? You know, damn. 2 days later, Adam comes back to school. Okay. He has this big ass, huge black eye. It's big as fuck. Bigger black eyes I ever seen. What do I see Alex do? Funny as shit. I ain't gonna lie. How's your fucking eye, pussy? Adam just looks down and everyone just laughs. I look at Alex. Think Jay-Z ever went through that? Think these other rappers ever went through that? All that shit's been in me for a very long time. 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, no, 5th grade, because they sent me to Abbott when I was in 5th. Fuck! I got more street cred than you will ever find from almost anyone else in Chicago. Almost anyone else. Racist ass motherfuckers too. Alright, I did it. I said my piece. Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Glad you like the song.